Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Let's take a look at this draft. So I see Lady in Waiting and Constable, so I take Lady in Waiting because a 3-room house is usually you can pretty reliably get the Constable bonus, and then I'm going to go for Hide Farmer on the rebound. This pick is Cloister Dweller or Stone Sculptor, one of the two, and I'm going to go with Cloister Dweller. So it's nice, it's sometimes nice, you'll hear me talk about taking Constable first pick so that nobody knows about it, but Lady in Waiting is going to let me play for like it's so strong that it's going to let me play for the Constable bonus quite easily. Because I can stay on a 3-room house and still have lots of actions to get everything done. Alright, looking at this pile, I see kind of 3 good options. The first is Tile Maker, the second is Omni Farmer, and the third is Social Climber. I think I like Social Climber here because, again, likely going to stay on 3 rooms, and then the Social Climber will give me easy access to stone, which will let me build the stone improvements, which will raise my point ceiling nice and high. So if I do the typical Cloister Dweller play, with Lady in Waiting on 3 rooms, get the Constable bonus, and have like Stone Oven Pottery or Well Pottery or something like that. That'll be a strong game. Um, hmm. Lady of the Manor kind of screws with Constable and screws with what I'm thinking about doing. Stable Deliveryman would make it easy for me to get the Lady of the Manor bonus. Gardening Enthusiast is always worth considering. I think, though, the pick is Resource Gatherer. Um, Getting 2 wood per round for renovating to a stone house quickly. Social Climber makes me want to do that anyways. That looks good to me. Um, so Hide Farmer would mean that I've failed my Cloister Dweller to a certain extent, but I don't think I need any of the other cards, so Hide Farmer it is. And this pick is Renovator. So I have three cards that I want to play early: Renovator, Resource Gatherer, and Social Climber. I could do Farmer. Farmer is pretty nice with Constable in the game, but I think Renovator is just exactly like it'll be a good action early for me. And here I take Omni Farmer just because it raises my point ceiling. Okay, I have some interesting choices here. Farmer's Straw Hat is always good. Grain Elevator, if I go for an oven, that could be quite useful. Pole Barns, I think, is quite underrated. Yeah, especially knowing Lady of the Manors out there, Pole Barns might be the pick. But I think I'll go for Grain Elevator, just because in Social Climber I really want to get Stone Oven, and that'll be a pretty nice way to feed. And maybe I'll get Pole Barns back because I think people undervalue it. 2 wood for 3 points at the end of the game is nice. Hmm. This one, Star Classification Meal is obviously great for me. Um, 5 rings is always worth considering, especially if I'm gonna spam improvements with Social Climber. Yeah, I think 5 rings is probably worth taking here. And then I should get Star Classification Meal back. And if I don't get it back, I should get Open Gate back, and then, it becomes a free point, which is always nice. Rock Pyramid gives me kind of an interesting line where I can try to build stone rooms instead of wood rooms. Especially if I build 2 of them. Or even if I build 1 wood room, 1 stone room. But I think with Lady of the Waiting in waiting, it's not going to be worth doing. So I'll take Syrup Tap here. So wood for a point and a reasonable effect. Couple food. Hmm. Okay, coffee break is always excellent. But I think what I'll go for is boundary stones or crooked plow. Probably not boundary stones. I think this is looking like a good crooked plow game. And then this pick is probably simple oven. 2 clay for a bake is reasonable. Especially because in round 14 I can take 2 clay from my resource gatherer and then play it to get out the bake bed bread action if I need it. So yeah, Open Gate I had already talked about. Open Gate's a great card. And then this pick is definitely corn on the cob. I think Reed Nursery is worth considering, but I don't think I'm going to have that many fields, so I'd rather just go for other kind of crop points. Reed Nursery also considering that Omni Farmer is actually no, never mind, it's not a crop, so yeah, I think corn on the cob is good here. It's always nice to be able to go on family growth and get 4 food at the same time. All right, this pick is Reedstone Food, and then maybe second action 5 rings. Ooh, Ken has Stonehouse Builder. Good thing I took Social Climber, Resource Gatherer. Yeah, that could have been scary. He probably took Politician, I imagine. So 2 wood is okay, but I kind of want to do 5 rings so that I can get Syrup Tap out. I'm not sure though. I think 5 rings is okay here. Okay, well, I guess if 4 wood's available, I might consider taking 4 wood, but Reedstone Food is quite good. We'll see what MSI does. Think we can pretty reliably expect Ken to second action Reedstone Food every round. Ooh, I do have the option of 4 wood. Okay, I think I gotta take that because 4 wood is always excellent. Especially because now I can do Star Player Syrup Tap and go back on Reedstone Food next round. And then my round 3 would be something like Reedstone Food plus Take Wood or Reedstone Food plus Lady in Waiting. And that would be all the food I need for the first harvest. So Joe's just AFK for a moment. So Joe gets a resource into sheep every time he plays an occupation. Pretty strong. So his first pick was Patroness because I didn't pass it to him. And I'm not sure if he took Constable, but I mean, I think he probably did because the rest of that first pack was not that strong. So I really got to keep an eye on Joe's farm. He's most likely going to set it up so that he can get the constable and just try to keep myself a little bit ahead of him. I would think Ken is doing 3 wood here, and then MSI probably Reedstone food, maybe 2 reed. Ooh, Ken start player. 2 occupations for Brickyard. I'm happy seeing Brickyard. It means I get better play actions. Also means he's probably not going to reno until he gets a clay payout from his Brickyard. He might not even build stone rooms at all with Stonehouse Builder. Just, it's possible. Oh, nice. So he got Stone Sculptor. So Stone Sculptor was in my second pack. I think I took Cloister Dweller over Stone Sculptor. So he got it fourth. So what did Joe take out of that pack? I would have expected Joe to go for the Stone Sculptor. So read Stone Food here because it's the best move available. I expect Joe to I expect Joe to build the fireplace here so that he can keep playing occupations. Yep. So it's possible that MSI might start player to get 6 wood, or actually Ken might get 6 wood. It's theoretically possible. If he does start player and MSI doesn't take wood, pretty sure MSI will take the 3 wood though. And that puts MSI in a good spot to build the first room, and I'm happy with that because then I can build the second room, and I'm looking good to do that. So if free occupation comes to me, I'll play Lady in Waiting. And looks like it is. And then my second action, 4 clay or start player syrup tap. Probably syrup tap actually, so that when I take wood in round 4, then I get a food in round 5, which will let me play an occupation at that time as well. And there's a chance I get 4 wood or 6 clay, depending on how stuff shakes out. Yes, let's see what MSI does here. Might play an occupation, might start player, might 4 clay. Hey, there's start player. So then I'll take, you know what, actually, maybe I do play syrup tap here. Is there any rush for it? Mm, well, it is nice to get out earlier so I get more food from it. So yeah, I think I'm okay with syrup tap here. Then I'm gonna take wood 4 or 5 times through the game, so it's 4 or 5. It's 3 or 4 wood plus a point, or 3 or 4 food plus a point. So, oh, and there is Constable for Joe. So with one action, Joe might be able to get to the resources for a wood room if he takes an extra wood from his patroness. Yep, so he took a 5th wood. So that forces MSI to first action build a room, or to pass 4 clay or 6 wood to Joe. One of those two things has to happen. I would take 4 wood first, just because it's enough for me to build a room plus play my grain elevator, as well as it gets me a syrup tap wood. And then I can get 4 clay with my second action. Excellent. So Ken's figuring he can get his own food. Traveling players. Taking 4 clay is fine for me, because if we get Reno round 5, well, well, I think I'm in an okay spot to take clay. So if I want to play social climber, I want to build a room and play social climber before I Reno, which might be my 2 actions next round. Social climber, or build room, then social climber. Oh, Joe going on start player. Okay. So Joe, well, might just want his clay roof out. We'll see. I'm a little surprised Joe didn't take the 4 food traveling players. I guess getting Clay Roof out is nice. And Ken ends up going for it instead of Reedstone Food. So I'm hoping, well, I'm Lady in Waiting loves for Family Growth to come in round 7. So probably that's what I'm hoping for. Um, what are my 2 moves in this round? Do I take wood and play Social Climber? Or do I play Renovator? Oh yeah, probably take wood and Social Climber. So if 3 wood gets to me. Assuming MSI does start player. Yeah, 3 wood would then let me play crooked plow as needed, which would be handy. So I'm pretty sure with that move it means Ken most likely took Politician, especially if he took Stone Sculptor. I have to imagine that he then took Politician afterwards. Unless Joe took it thinking that it goes well with his Patroness, but yeah, I'm not sure. So this is interesting. MSI deciding to not start player. So I wonder. Joe took start player in round 4. I wonder if he had a sense that MSI would be unable to sit on start player if Family Growth didn't come in round 5. I wonder if he had a sense of that, or if he just thought, hey, this is a good time to play Clay Roof, let's get it out before I build that first room. Maybe he saw Piggy Bank and thought, can't afford to do Piggy Bank and sit on start player at the same time. So let's see what round 6 comes up with. Nice. Reno's good for me, so I'm hoping to do um, build room and then Reno. Although Ken might build room here as well. But maybe he'll take 4 wood, hoping to build 2 rooms at once. There's a couple different possibilities. Ken does build a room. Okay, so 4 wood is mine. Although, who am I kidding? MSI is going to take 4 wood. I could maybe take 4 clay and then plan on building a clay room instead of a wood room. So my action would be reno, build the well. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Because I do want to start getting these renovation actions in as soon as possible. It would mean I need to take reed before I can build a room, but that shouldn't be a problem. I want to go on reedstone food anyways. And it gets me the well, which is nice. And it saves all that wood, which is also nice. So if I build the well, what am I going to do to get to my food count next round? Reedstone food is not going to be enough. Hmm. And my syrup tap can't give me a payoff next round if I play it here. And if I play it here, then I don't get the well food. So maybe I need to build pottery instead of the well. The problem is then if I play pottery, reno, play pottery, eat clay, then I'm going to need another clay action before I can build a clay room, which just sets me farther back. I guess I can do a 3 food action next round. It's not the worst. So if I take 3 wood here, I get a food next round. And then, would I still reno? Joe will probably reno to deny me, so I think I reno well here, and then I'll get 4 wood with my first action. Second action, take food. I could reno again next round and just get my resource gather going as soon as possible. So in that case, what I would do is I would play my 2 actions would be take 4 wood and then second action play reno pottery. Would mean that I don't build until much later, but it might work. There is a 3 stone action, although I'm not going to get 3 stone. I might get 3 stone in round 10 though. At the moment, I'm scheduled to grow in round 10. But MSI is able to build a third room, or a fourth room, so I might get bumped to round 11. So if I'm going to get bumped to round 11, then probably using my social climber once more to get pottery is okay, and that'll give me plenty of time to get enough stone to build a stone room. Okay, I've convinced myself. And then I can play my resource gatherer. Also, I just realized that the stone meal card never came, so that's too bad. Never got back to me. So pretty sure Ken does start player, then MSI does 6 wood. Ooh, interesting. Ken gambling a little. Recognizing that MSI needs to spend an action on food, maybe, and might end up begging. Oh, nice. This is really nice. Nice alms for MSI. Exactly what he needed. Immigrant Son is perfect for Joe. With his combo, he wants to play all 7 occupations anyways. Very nice for him. And now he's able to build pottery or basket maker's workshop as he desires. Very nice spot to be in. So I think I'll play Reno pottery here. I need to take food anyways, so I think it's my best way of getting food. I'm gonna gain three stone. I only have to pay 1 of them, so I'm gonna be left with 2 stone and no reed, so 2 actions away from being able to build a stone room. 1 3 stone action, 1 2 reed action. That should be very doable. Especially if I get 4 stone next round, which is not impossible. Because depending on what MSI does here. All right, so I'm hoping a little. It might work out. Let's see. So now if I can get 4 stone next round, then I'll be in a great position to build another room. Or to build a room. Yeah, because MSI needs to family growth here if he's going to family growth. Beautiful. Beautiful. So my 2 actions are probably 4 stone and then play occupation resource gatherer. Well, that works out for Ken. Also means that my next action is pretty clear, I think. Instead of playing resource gatherers, I need to take 3 reed so that I can build room grow round 9 if the opportunity is there. Although I'm pretty sure that MSI or Ken will build as well. So MSI plays the joinery for free. Nice. So my goal will be to start player round 11 with Crooked Plow, I think. Hopefully I get Build Room Grow in this round, but I'm not sure. Ken probably can't do it because he needs food, but MSI probably has enough food that he can afford to build Grow, especially with the fireplace and 2 5 food. Yeah, I guess there's a 6 food and 2 5 food actions available. Okay, 6 clay is alright, 3 wood is pretty good. Could start player grain elevator. I think though I'm gonna play my resource gatherer here. Then second action, 5 food or 6 clay. I guess I should consider start player here because Ken is able to build a room still. And he has move priority over me at the moment. I do need to make sure I get my room built before round 12, or my family growth done before round 12 when Lady in Waiting pays off. So it's probably worth doing the start player to do grow build or build grow next round. Okay, I think I start player here. So I play green elevator. I'll grab 2 wood with my resource gatherer, and I'll do my build room grow next round. So what I'm doing there with the grain elevators, I'm just marking the last time the action was taken, because since we want to mark it in some way, and it's kind of a pain to manually update each round. And since it's on the global board, it's ambiguous whether someone else did it or I did it. So usually what we just do is we just put a marker that shows the last round grain was taken, and then we do the math from there. So passing Joe 6 wood kind of stinks, but not anything I can do about it. Needed my opponents to take the wood, and they didn't, so I am gonna need a good amount of food next in round 12 or round 11, because I need to hit 6 plus. So I'm gonna need another 4, 2 for my lady in waiting. Well, another 3 because I can pick up. Or actually, my well food is done. Yeah, so I have 2 food, eat a clay, that's 4. So if I can take grain and then play corn on the cob, that gets me all the food I need. Although I would rather play something like crooked plow. Although I'll play crooked plow on family growth here. Yeah, that works actually if I do that. So next round, first action, take grain. Second action, plow or start player, corn on the cob if possible. I'll take 2 clay so that I have the option of building clay oven instead. Although I do need to keep taking wood from my gatherers so that I can fence nice and early so that I can actually hold all the animals. Hmm. A little surprised Joe grabs a wood there instead of a reed. I would think the reed would be very desirable for him with Basket Maker's Workshop. Saves him having to do a reed action before the next harvest. So that makes taking grain lower value for me. I'll still do it, but just brings it down in priority a bit. Although I do need to be careful I don't get totally blocked out, because I don't have any other actions that'll get me the food that I need. So I probably still have to first action take grain. Ken might first action Renault Renault clay oven. Hopefully he doesn't though, because he doesn't have a way of accumulating grain, but he might still do it. So I think my ideal next round is take grain, start player, then plow. Oh, he's doing it here. Okay. Well, that sucks for me. I mean, it doesn't suck. It's just one fewer option for me. So I could take 1 stone. Get a stone from my thing. No one else can build a stone oven, so... So now I'm able to do a stone oven, but I'll do corn on the cob first. Joe fences, that's good for me. He's probably looking at grabbing those two cattle. But MSI should go for them, I think. He needs the food. Okay, Ken goes for the stone. It's enough for him to reno and do um, stone sculptor. So I get hopefully family growth in round 12. Otherwise, plow sow will be fine too. Although I guess I don't want. I have to think about how I'm going to lay out my farm. Is plow sow worth doing? Oh, tile maker for Joe. So that means um, stone oven just went way up in value for Ken. Maybe if plow gets blocked, I'll do stone oven myself. Bake another grain. I guess my options for next round are 4 wood or family growth. I think I actually won't take plow sow. Maybe plow 3 fields, maybe. But I should get on that space eventually. Why is Gatsby coming up as saying sorry think? That's really weird. Not even in the game. I'm gonna print screen that and post that on the forum. And this Ken is going across 2 different accounts, and Gatsby is an alternate account. Alright, nice. Plow came around, so I'll do my plow here. And if I get stone oven, I get stone oven. If I don't, probably it would be a little risky, and I need to go for constable anyways. So horse is really bad in a constable game. Unless he's giving up on the constable bonus already. Just because horse it doesn't have any value unless you're missing, unless you have a negative. And if you have a negative, then you don't get the constable bonus. And you should always be playing for the constable bonus in a constable game. Because 5 points is 5 points. MSI is finally going to play an occupation. So now I'm able to second action fence 15, and then I can start taking animals. Or maybe what I do is second action grain, and then major minor stone oven, and then take animal last action. And then I'll take clay for my resource gatherers for the rest of the game, which will be a point each round, which is nice. It is a little sad giving Joe plow sow, but I think this is going to work out okay. I guess I could have played Stone Oven last round um, instead of doing start player. Like I had the resources to do Stone Oven. So maybe I should have thought about that. Figured, well, I'm not going to do plow sow if it comes up, and decided instead to do just play Stone Oven instead of the passing miner. I don't know. I'm not sure what would have been better. Joe's a threat to fence, but the other guys aren't, and everybody needs to take grain at some point, so put a bit of pressure on the grain space. Next action, fence. Final action, take animal. And if I can't get fence, then I'll start player. So maybe my next two moves are going to be vegetable and cattle, so that I only need three total moves to get the guarantee the constable bonus. Well, the stone oven is worth quite a bit, so maybe it's worth risking something. Quite nice for Joe. So now he gets family growth around 13. I'm gonna probably have to first action fence. So just got to be a little careful with my feeding there. So now between the 8 food and then if I eat 2 clay, that's enough for me to get to 12 food, and then I'm at 13 with the food next round. So I'm going to need 3 food for the rest of the game, which is pretty easy to do. I guess I have Cloister Dweller, so I'm going to need 4 more food. So if I can get a 4 food action, that'll be nice. So I take 2 clay with my resource gatherer. So I fence 15. And now I'm set up to play Resource Gatherer for 5 points, plus Constable for 5 points. Should be enough for me to beat Joe, I think. I think the Cloister Dweller will be the difference between our two games, because I have way more improvement points than he does. Our house is worth about the same with Tile Maker. He has a couple more crop points, but if I get Constable, then I'm gold. So I'll take one of the animals I'm missing, boar or sheep. I guess probably sheep because boar is worth a little bit more to Joe. Yeah, if the rest of this round is just me securing Constable, then that's okay, because I can just take boar, take vegetable. Just need to make sure that MSI doesn't consider me a threat. Um, well, or that MSI did start player, so I can always afford to gamble on getting 2 boar next round. And 2 boar would be a 3-point move. It would be a little bit better, and then I could take my other food this round and not worry about getting it blocked. How many other point into the game cards did I see? I saw Lady of the Manor, but nobody's looking like they're in a position to claim that except for Joe, who is gonna max out in vegetable, but nobody else is gonna max out anything else. Or at least I think it's unlikely. Oh, that's nice. Hobby farmer there. So yeah, definitely hold on to Cloister Dweller until next round. So next 2 moves are vegetable and 4 food. And then first action round 14 will be to take boar. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see, but that's fine. I'll take boar here, and then I just have to first action take vegetable. think there's nothing much for me to do here except take traveling players or fish. That should be all the food I need for the rest of the game now. So I have to take vegetable because otherwise Joe blocking my vegetable is too big of a move. Like it's too tempting for him to do. No way that he won't do it, I think. So yeah, Cloister Dweller is 5 points. Taking Clay is worth 3 points, and then my last move will probably be a 1 point animal move. Yeah, Joe will not let me get so baked, so there's no point in me taking grain. Unless I think I'm going to take grain and then play Simple Oven. But I'm just going to play Cloister Dweller with this next move, so... Well, if I take Cloister Dweller, Joe might decide to then block my clay. Maybe I should take the clay first, because if he blocks my clay move, then I might run out of point moves. Although I guess the difference between 8 clay and 3 clay is only 1 point. So if Joe takes 3 clay, or 8 clay, he's just denying me 1 point total. And that's not a big deal. Assuming I don't have to take food. If I have to take food, then 3 clay is only 1 point versus 2 points. Because if I have to take food, then that means I don't have to eat a clay. So I guess my end of the game could be Cloister Dweller, 8 clay, Simple Oven, or Fireplace. But I think I'll just play my occupation here. If it gets denied, then I have no chance. There we go, 5 point Cloister Dweller. And then I'll aim for 8 clay with my next action for 8 clay for 3 points, and then Simple Oven with my last move, if it's available. Otherwise, 1 boar or 1 cattle are 1 point moves as well. So I have 3 moves now that are worth a point. 4 moves actually. So bake, um, boar, cattle, and actually 5. So no matter what, I'm getting a point with my final move. All right, that's good. So I took cattle just because it denies food to um, Joe. So I score 40 plus 11 for 51. So we'll see if that's enough to beat Joe. Joe's got a pretty nice farm. Um, we'll see. So the scorecard has Joe at 43. He's got 2 points from boundary stones, 1 point from straw, and 5 points from constable. Yeah, so he hits 53. That's too bad. Yeah, 2 from boundary stone. Oh, 2 from tile maker. Hey, Aquamas, thanks for tuning in. Um, yeah, so round end up scoring 51, but not enough to beat Joe with a score of 53. It's unfortunate, just a little bit short. The difference, so I'm just saying to Joe, the difference is him getting family growth over me getting family growth. Which, I mean, not that there's anything really to say about it, but maybe I needed to play a little riskier as well. So just saying, maybe if I gamble on getting round 14 stone oven instead of round 12, I can do so bake with my 3 grain and 1 vegetable. Because then I get another 3 points from grain, or 2 points from grain at least, which would be enough to tie. So, yeah, I thought I was in a pretty I was in a bit of a vulnerable spot just because I had to use all my actions to get the constable because Joe could block me. Didn't have any constable dodging cards, unfortunately. So just chatting with Joe, saying that maybe I should have built Stone Oven in round 11. Um, just talking, I'm only 2 points off, right? So I'm very close. Like if I sow grain before baking it, that's 2 points. If I get family growth, that's at least 2 points. But yeah, good game as always. Um, take a quick look at the draft. Always difficult to beat Joe, one of the best players probably in the world. So first pick here, Lady in Waiting, fine with that. Cloister Dweller, yeah. Social Climber, yeah. So here I took Resource Gatherer. Lady of the Manor wouldn't have been worth anything to me, but Politician may have been. Politician with Social Climber, maybe. Then I took Hide Farmer as insurance. I wasn't going to play any of those cards, I guess. Here I took Renovator. So maybe I needed to take Farmer instead of Renovator there. Not sure. And then Omni Farmer. Yeah, nothing was going to be worth anything to me there. So from my minors, I took Grain Elevator, which is second best card by draft position, but it's like fifth best card by power, sixth best card by power, actually. Hmm. Yeah, so maybe I overvalued Grain Elevator there. I mean, Dovecoat would have been a nice 2 points for 1 stone, and then maybe I don't build Stone Oven or something. I took 5 rings over Lettuce Patch. I think I'm okay with that, considering I had Social Climber. Here I take Syrup Tap. Yeah, so taking the highly drafted cards, but not the cards with the highest power. Simple oven of open gate, corn on the cob. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Glad to have played it. Always fun playing with Joe. He's so good just to see how he brings everything together always. Manages 53 points on a 3-room clay house, which is always excellent. I really thought the Constable would, and the Max Pottery and the Well would be enough to put me ahead of him, but obviously that was not the case. Um, I guess his feeding was a little bit better than mine, so maybe that's the difference between the two of us. Also, that he gets the Constable sorted much earlier than I did, which maybe that's because I didn't fence early enough, and I didn't fence early enough because I played Wood Minor Improvements, which maybe I could have played later. So, yeah, interesting to think about. Always interesting to think about. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. That's all for me for today. I'm gonna hang around and chat for a bit if you wanna say anything. Other than that, hope you guys have enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you next time.